These documents are classified under Murkoff Corporation. Any attempt to distribute classified internal documents will be dealt with by lethal force or lethal injection. You have been warned. Easterman CIA Interview Number 1. Murkoff Corporation. Copy. Central Intelligence Agency Internal Memo. Transcription of interview between James Lawler, CIA, and Hendrik Julia Easterman, civilian. Recorded, Chicago, Illinois. Edited for clarity. Minutes 33 to 36. You were present at Mr. Dull's speech at Princeton. Are you asking me? Are you denying you were there? No, I just couldn't interpret your tone. You seem to already know. My point is that brainwashing has already too far infiltrated the popular imagination. July of last year, it was the front page story in every major U.S. city. 21 American prisoners of war refused to come home. Red-blooded Americans who'd rather make a home in communist China. I read the papers. This is the question we need to answer. Why in the name of God would anybody, given the choice, become a communist? Easterman, CIA Interview Number 2. Murkoff Corporation. Copy. Central Intelligence Agency Internal Memo. Transcription of interview between Jameson Lawler, CIA, and Hendrik Julia Easterman, civilian. Recorded, Chicago, Illinois. Edited for clarity. Minutes 36 to 39. You're talking about thought reform. I'm talking about brainwashing. You've read my work. You have to forgive me. I was working strictly out of the assumptions based in the German psyche in the lead up to 1933. The red material coming out of... No. That's exactly the assumption we're working off of. The basic truth, the notion of belief, is exactly the same between communism and National Socialism. You talked about that. The subtler menace, the upstream movement. The political truth, backing into culture, into sex, advertising, music, consumption, drugs. Everything is a language. Easterman, CIA Interview Number 3. Murkoff Corporation. Copy. Central Intelligence Agency Internal Memo. Transcription of interview between Jameson Lawler, CIA, and Hendrik Julia Easterman, civilian. Recorded, Chicago, Illinois. Edited for clarity. Minutes 39 to 41. Everything is a language. Everything is a language, yes. Your brother killed himself. Your brother killed himself in Korea. He was a lieutenant, I believe? You have this thing you do. You say things that sound like questions but aren't questions. I don't say anything that's not true. We can't know. My brother died alone. The forensics were sloppy. You don't think he killed himself? A lot of strange things happen in war. Correct. Emphatically correct. What are we talking about? I have an opportunity for you to study what happened in Korea. We're holding KPA brainwashing subjects in Hong Kong. We need somebody with your bona fides to investigate. Science opportunity. Murkoff Corporation. Inter-organizational letters only. Copy. Correspondence between Oliver W. Bernachik and H. W. Easterman. Dr. Easterman, please let me to introduce myself. My name is Oliver Bernachik, Assistant Director of Behavioral Medicine at the Murkoff Corp's Mount Massive Hospital. Of course, you're familiar with the Murkoff Corporation. Our mutual friend James Lawler has been sharing with me your findings in Hong Kong, maintaining, of course, the appropriate discretion. Your research synchronizes remarkably with dream therapy work we keep a hand in at the labs in Los Alamos. We've secured agency cooperation to bring you to Los Alamos and meet our team of researchers. You should find tickets and travel documents in your bedside table. I'd strongly suggest you accept the invitation, as this letter is tangential to highly sensitive national security issues. Your knowledge of such activity, even without your active participation in such activity, could represent a security risk requiring some enforceable form of silence. But don't come simply to avoid punishment. The research our scientists at Los Alamos are engaged in is vital. Inspiring work well beyond any of the brutish, clumsy methodologies demonstrated by our enemies in the communist world. I was told you were a man who could believe in miracles. Oliver Bernachik, ADMB, Mount Massive. Los Alamos, Murkoff Corporation, personal surveillance. Copy. Private journal entry of Dr. Hendrik Juliet Easterman. The New Mexico desert is as dry and quiet as Hong Kong was wet and noisy. I've been reviewing Dr. Warnicki's notes, and if he were alone in these endeavors, I would safely categorize him as delusional, irreparably damaged by the guilt of his participation in the Nazi business. Ghosts and fairy tale boogeymen, but his results have thoroughly vetted, and I'm left feeling unmoored from reality. The Horror in Clay, Murkoff Corporation, personal surveillance. Copy. Private journal entry of Dr. Hendrik Juliet Easterman. Saturday, perusing a used bookshop in Santa Fe, I found a book of monster stories collected from Weird Tales magazine, including a favorite of mine as a child. The story is feeble pulp, the work of a slavering fetishist, simultaneously terrified and aroused by our dusky brethren's more atavistic modes of worship. But the opening paragraph struck me as oddly applicable to my new friends at Los Alamos. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity. And it was not meant that we should voyage far. The sciences, each straining in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little. But someday, the piecing together of disassociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality, and of our frightful position therein, that we shall either go mad from the revelation, or flee from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark age. It is Mayday. Workers of the world unite. The Sake of the Future, Murkoff Corporation, personal surveillance. Copy. Private journal entry of Dr. Hendrik Juliet Easterman. I've been warned against talking politics with our Dr. Wernicke. I believe the exact phrase was, "We can overlook his past for the sake of the future." This Bernachik, blast these foreign names, seems to think my research into brainwashing and ideological revision should somehow mesh seamlessly with the old Germans' work with microwave signals and guided visual stimulation. Wernicke may be little more than a sideshow mesmerist. I've been trying to get Wernicke to classify the intentions of his experiments, but he somehow steers every conversation to the psychotherapeutic implications of Germanic folklore. With one brief foray into the inherently doomed nature of all heterosexual relationships, he does have his points. Strange dreams since my arrival. Wernicke is certainly a vital and handsome man. I'm reaching out to Murkoff Human Resources again to see about getting Irene out of here. A man needs to be able to concentrate.